This episode of GHA's vNews is brought to you by GHA's annual educational retreat. Now in its second year, ER2 is an event that is a must for any serious GHA student. Visit globalhapkidoassociation.org for more information, and see you all in Cancun. Hello everyone, and welcome to July 2019 and this episode of GHA's vNews. Why are we in my office? Well, I was actually outside practicing some cutting. Because I live in Las Vegas, I'm able to grow bamboo, so I can actually grow what I cut, and no more pool noodles for me. And I realized today was July 1st and this had to be recorded. The problem is the last episode was in my garage and I just had a bunch of electrical work. An electrician came in and installed some plugs and so on. And because of that, the entire garage is one big pile of garbage and drywall and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I tried to do it outside and couldn't do that because our neighbor is having a pool or something put in, which means lots of noise. So you guys are going to get stuck with me in my office today, and let's see what's going on. All right, so what is the most recent news for GHA? Well, I have a couple things for you. One isn't really new news. It's kind of old news, but it happened before we started doing vNews. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm also going to talk about the last manual / workbook for the Color Belts new curriculum that GHA just put out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the new GHA First Cup workbook, which is right here. This is available on Amazon right now. I think it's only $7, $8, something like that. It will go up in price. Now this, along with what I'm going to talk about in a second, is really only news for GHA's full curriculum schools. So if you're not a full curriculum school, in other words, you teach your own curriculum, there's really no reason for you to even bother getting this unless you want to see it. This is intended for use by our full curriculum schools. And what is it? So as I mentioned in the last video, we do not have any new material between First Cup and First On. It's a cumulative exam, so it's basically review. So the workbook is just that. It's a workbook that tells everyone, let's see if I can find it here, what they need to do in order to take their first degree black belt exam. It talks about what they need to bring to their exam, paperwork they have to fill out. There's a take-home written exam in here. There is this is the take-home written exam. There is an in-class written exam in here. There's a section on goals for the student long-term goals. There's a section to fill out about their memories of when they first started Hapkido. And there's also a section on the testing, the test itself, the physical exam and the practical testing standards. So what does that mean? Basically what they're going to be tested on and grounds for failure. So exactly how can they not pass if they do this, they don't pass, or if they don't do this, they don't pass. So that's it. It's about, I think it's around 50 pages. It is available on Amazon right now if you are a full curriculum school, or if not, pick a copy up, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be $14.95 in the very near future. The other thing is, we do have GHA for our full curriculum schools. We have color belt written exams for our color belt students. So we have one written exam for every color belt, for every GUP rank we have. They're short, they're just the front of a page, and it's out of 100 points, and basically there's 20 points on 20 questions on the page. You just multiply that by, it's 25 on the page. You multiply that by 4, you get 100 points. So this is just an example. For those of you who want copies of these you can download these off the GHA USA's webpage, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. It's still under construction, but there is a member section, and you can download these off of that if you're an instructor and want to use them, by all means. There's questions on Korean, there's questions on GHA's creed, GHA's principles, all sorts of stuff along those lines. So those are basically the two things that go together, the new workbook and these written exams. And the next thing I want to talk about or show you, as I said, is an old thing. It's not a new thing, but it's new to vNews. All right, so this is it. This is a GHA commitment certificate. This is actually, believe it or not, the prototype. This was the very first one that was done, and it was actually printed on an inkjet printer as opposed to from a print shop. And what is this? Well, commitment certificates, we each use these differently. For example, I use these when I have a student that is testing for 5th Dan and passes. I use one of these with my students that right after they pass. So basically there's a section for the instructor, there's a section for the student, and you sit down with them and there's a ceremony for this that you don't have to follow, I suppose, if you don't want to, but basically you alternate reading line after line, and when you're done, you sign the certificate and you put your thumbprint on it, and then it's framed like this, horizontally as opposed to vertically. It basically is a commitment kind of contract between a student and their instructor. Now, Grandmaster Lee doesn't do that. So as I said, I do it for 5th Dans and up. Grandmaster Lee does it for anyone that's basically a direct student of his that wants to do it. That's my belief anyway, how he does this. So as you can see, this one was between myself and Grandmaster Lee. His signature is right here, that's his thumbprint, and my signature and my thumbprint. And obviously the names would change here, but these are available. If you are an instructor at a GHA member school and you would like to use these within your school, you can do that. GHA does sell these now. They're professionally printed, unlike this inkjet one. They are $5 a piece. And you can, if you want some, you can simply send an email to shop, S-H-O-P, at globalhapkidoassociation.org. That's shop at globalhapkidoassociation.org. Just tell them how many you want, who you are, and they'll send you a bill, and they'll send you the commitment certificates. These are absolutely fantastic. I've had great success with these for quite some time now. So what's the next event for GHA? It's actually not really an event that's open to the public. It's the GHA USA's annual meeting. So this is actually the first year we're doing this, and what's happening is Grandmaster Lee is going to come to Las Vegas, and we are going to have a meeting this year between just myself and him to go over the structure for future GHA USA annual meetings. So the idea is we want to have an annual meeting where all of our regional vice chairmen, our state presidents, state vice presidents, and any GHA USA board members, for them to come together once a year and talk about GHA USA issues, curriculum changes that we think should be implemented, stuff that's more country specific, like ranks, color belt, different colors for the different color belt ranks. That is currently left up to the different national governing bodies for the countries. So we want to develop a structure for this so that in the future we can have all these people come together once a year in order to go over what's needed for GHA USA. As I said, it's just going to be me and Grandmaster Lee this year, and the reason for that is it's not that we're trying to be I don't know, secretive or whatever. We don't have a structure yet, but also if you saw last month's episode of vNews, the hint at the end, Grandmaster Lee and I are actually traveling someplace for a few days. Can't tell you about it yet. And hopefully in next month's vNews, we'll be able to discuss it. It's something that could have some good benefit for GHA. Maybe not. So we'll have to see. But anyway, that's the next event, and that is from the 19th through the 22nd of July. Sorry for looking down, that's where my cheat sheet is. But he will be here from Friday until Monday. First thing in the morning on Friday, leaves on Monday night. And I'm sure he'll be posting tons of photos to the GHA's Instagram page, and so will I. And actually, if all goes well when we're doing our little mini trip out of that time period, you'll probably get to see photos of that as well. So that's the next event for GHA. All right, so what are the GHA's future events that are coming up? Well, the one I'm looking forward to the most, it will be our second annual GHA Educational Retreat, which this year is being held in Cancun, Mexico. Master Adrian Garcia, who is our vice chairman for GHA Mexico and a deputy chairman on our actual international board of directors, is hosting it this year. So it'll be in Cancun. It'll be September 20th, which is a Friday, through Sunday the 22nd. We start in the evening, I think 6 o'clock on Friday night. We go all day Saturday, and we're done Sunday around 11 o'clock in the morning. After that, about half the people that are currently signed up are staying till either Thursday or Friday for vacation. So we're going to go on a couple excursions, one to Chichen Itza, which is a Mayan pyramid. If you haven't seen it before, it's absolutely amazing. We're also going to the Isle of Mothers, which is right off the coast of Cancun. You take a ferry over there, you get a golf cart drive around, lots of fun. Grandmaster Lee will obviously be teaching at this event. I will also, Master Garcia will as well. Master Lee, who is the GHA's chairman for GHA Korea, will be teaching. And Master Garcia's father, Grandmaster Garcia, will be teaching a class or two at this retreat as well. It is definitely a do not miss sort of thing. So if you haven't signed up yet, or at least got your hotel room and airfare yet, you can go to globalhapkidoassociation.org, scroll down, and there's a little box that talks about the retreat in Cancun. Simply click on that, go to the bottom of the page, and there's a button for registering to get your hotel for the trip. Once you have the hotel, we obviously know you're coming. Just let us know how many of you actually are going to the retreat. We have a lot of people, including myself, that will be bringing people with us that aren't attending the retreat. For example, my wife is coming. She'll be laying on the beach or doing vacation-y sort of things while I'm at the retreat. So feel free to bring family members or friends to the retreat and then stay after with them on vacation. It'll be a lot of fun. What else is coming up? The next event we have is in January, and there are some smaller events in there, but this is pretty much the next major event. And it's the GHA USA's annual Black Belt Promotion Exam. So starting this year, GHA USA will have a promotion exam that is basically open to anyone that can't take a regional exam. So this year, it's going to be right before a sanctioned GHA event, which is my association's annual retreat. So it'll be on Thursday, what date is it? January 16th at 1 p.m. And it's going to be in Painted Post, New York, which is the southern tier of New York, down by Corning, which is where Corning glass is made. There will be basically a promotion exam for anyone that doesn't have any way of getting promoted on their own. So individual members that are black belts that meet the requirements. Maybe it's a black belt that goes to a school that doesn't have any way of promoting them. So maybe the ranks don't match up, the instructor and the black belts. This is a way for them to be able to test, and we offer it, as I said, once a year. probably within the last year, we actually had 2 of these exams. One was at Grandmaster Lee's school, and one was here in Las Vegas. But they were very small, so we decided to only have one in 2020, and that will be at Painted Post, New York, as I said, in the middle of January. Right after that evening, as a matter of fact, the GHA sanctioned event, which is Shinno Kwan's annual Black Belt Winter Retreat, starts, and it goes Thursday night through Sunday. It's very similar to the educational retreat that we do for GHA, except we wake up a lot earlier, like 4:30 in the morning, and go to 11 o'clock at night. And we're done just like the GHA's retreat. We're done at noon. Just like the educational retreat, Grandmaster Lee will be teaching this event. I will be teaching it. Master Garcia comes up from Mexico every year. We have a Kali instructor that teaches every year, and we also have an Aikido instructor that teaches at it every year. This will be our 28th year of hosting this event. We usually average around 45 to 50 black belts from all over the United States and internationally. You have to be an adult, and you have to be a black belt to attend. If you're interested in more information, go to blackbeltretreat.com. That's blackbeltretreat.com. And the last event I want to mention, which we talked a lot about in last month's vNews, is the annual GHA Korea tour. So just like last year, we'll be going to Korea this year. We've added some things to the tour, and we've taken some things away. So if you would like to go on the tour and have some suggestions of things you would really like to do, please shoot us an email at connect@GHAUSA.com and with your suggestions, and I'll put them through to Grandmaster Lee, and we'll see if we can get that added to the tour. There's been talk, lots of suggestions, like going to the demilitarized zone. People have asked for other martial arts than we did in the past, which we're actually doing. We're going to go to a different Buddhist temple this year than we went to last year. This year we went to one that was more of like a touristy place. This one that we're going to probably be going to this year is a functional Buddhist monastery. And believe it or not, it's right down the street from our hotel. So a lot of things have changed. We're going to do a lot of extra things and take a few things that weren't so popular away. It is probably the cheapest way you'll ever be able to see Korea, and the best part about it is once you get off the plane, you don't even have to have any money. Everything in your fee for the tour is covered. All your food, your transportation, your rooms that you sleep in, everything, except for souvenirs. So send us your suggestions, and I hope you will consider going to the annual tour in 2020. All right, so what are we working on in GHA right now? Well, we're working on a few things. As you guys know, all the manuals, our collar belts are done. So these are all on Amazon. This is what's on Amazon. And this is the stack that Master Graves, who is our editor for these things, this is the stack that he proofread and fixed the grammar and the punctuation mistakes and all that. And he went through and highlighted all the little mistakes and suggested changes to make it sound and flow better. So we're in the process of going through all these and making changes to our publisher. Please don't fear if you already bought these things. There's nothing wrong with the physical techniques in here. We're talking about someone that could work for a professional publisher. The mistakes he picks up on, most of us would never even know our mistakes. So don't worry if you've already purchased these. There's nothing wrong with the physical techniques that are in here. None of the physical techniques are going to be changed. None of the mental material is going to be changed. It's just small corrections that have to be done for, as I said, grammatical mistakes and ease of reading. So now that those are done, I'm actually traveling to Grandmaster Lee's school in Battle Creek in August for 5 days. And what we're going to be doing then is videotaping all the material for 3 new manuals. And those manuals aren't actual manuals that are part of our curriculum that are what we call modules. So what's going to happen is GHA is going to be releasing a whole series of these module manuals. Each manual will focus on one specific topic. In this case, the 3 manuals that we're working on in August are for 3 different weapons. We have the long staff, the knife, and the short staff. So we're going to be doing manuals for these 3 weapons. So what's going to be in one of these modules or manuals? Well, each manual will be broken down into 3 levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. And in the case of a weapon that is actually going to be in the black belt curriculum, for example, knife. The knife is going to be in the GHA's black belt curriculum at some rank. And so the level 1 material that's in that module will actually be in the DON manual for that rank. The level 2 and the level 3 material will not be in GHA's regular curriculum. It's there for students, or I should say black belts, or instructors that want to increase the amount of material for that specific weapon that they teach at their schools or that they practice. So for example, let's say one school that really wants to have their students focus on the knife more than what the GHA curriculum does in the black belt curriculum. What they can do is they can get these knife manuals, give them out to their students, and they'll be the same. They'll be in full color with the QR codes for scanning for videos, and they can learn beyond what's in the black belt curriculum. So for example, the knife manual, as it stands right now, has, as I said, 3 levels. There is a basic knife form in level 1. There's an intermediate knife form in level 2, and there's a double knife, so 2 knives, form for level 3. We do self-defense against the knife. We do foundation techniques with the knife. We have these stabbing combinations, slashing combinations. We have drills that are like our sticking hands drills. So we have this whole manual devoted just to the knife. And what GHA does is, if they go beyond level 1, GHA, there is actually promotion exam requirements for the level 2 and the level 3, and that people can actually take exams and get certification for these different levels. So we're very excited about this, and hopefully it's my intention, whether or not this will happen or not, I don't know, it depends on how the filming goes, but it's my intention to have the knife manual ready and at least a sample copy printed before the educational retreat in Cancun. So we're currently working on that. We're also continuing to work on the 3 web pages I talked about last time. GHA is pretty much finished. The only thing that is under construction is the national for GHA USA, our member schools. All right, well, it's time for the Founder's Whisper, and it's going to be pretty easy since we're in my office. So I'm going to screen capture it so you can actually see instead of looking this way. So let's give Grandmaster Lee a call and see what he wants to talk about this month. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Oh, sir, and thank you again for joining us in this month of July 1st. I can't believe how fast the summer is going by already.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I know you wanted to talk a little bit about Cancun. I didn't really get a chance to mention this in the other part of the video. So we have been having problems within the United States with registering, and that's supposed to be fixed this week at some point. So people can sign up at globalhapkidoassociation.org for their hotel rooms probably by the end of this week. And I know you had a few things you wanted to say as well about Cancun again.
Yes, I think so. We have ourselves here, U.S. people. We Battle Creek people. We want to sign up tonight. Some of them. So we gotta find out. I'm sure they are working on the Cancun. So I'm sure it's a work. Maybe. So finger crossed. But a lot of other countries want to take interest in the coming. So they are all asking for the send it to the invitation letter and schedule. So I think this is a great event.
Yeah, didn't you just get a request from Egypt?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Mr. Garcia is sent to the invitation letter already a few hours ago. So we have a lot of, and then other things. Good news is Korea. Master Chung Lee is coming, and then his student and other school members are asking to the program and price and stuff. So they wanted to more people coming from Korea too.
Good. Yeah, and the problem with registering is only for us. We think it's a currency conversion thing, but if you can't do it online, there is a woman that you can call at the Iberostar, which I have the information for. So if anyone wants to call them directly, GHA USA, connect at GHAUSA.com. If they send me an email, I can send them the information, including your students, on how to call and just register online. Because I know, I mean, as opposed to registering online, I know a lot of people have done that already as well.
Good. That sounds good. Yes.
Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up, because I was actually outside today, and I told everyone already, I was outside. I grow bamboo in my yard, and it's small bamboo. It's not big bamboo, but it's still hard to cut because it moves so much when you try to cut it. So I was out practicing today, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, today's July 1st. I need to do this video. So I was thinking about these swords, and a lot of people, we have a lot more people this year coming to Korea than we had last year. And people have already started asking about this, so I thought we could talk about it. So this sword that I have right here, you had made for me in through your contacts in Korea last year,
Yeah.
and that will be available to people this year as well, correct?
Yes, everybody can order. This is a Korean style. Can you show to the how to? Yes, there's a twist ring and hanging. So actually, Korean sword is a blade is a down, right then that way. This is a Korean way to carry it. So this is a custom made. We can do it in Kagam and Chingam. Both of them is available for everybody interested. Yes.
Yeah, and you can't beat the price. I mean, I was blown away. I mean, I realize it's expensive, but it's compared to swords that I've purchased in the past. They're very, very reasonable. And for example, the wrapping around the ray skin in here, this is actually leather as opposed to silk or just cotton. And you also, I don't think you could see in the little picture, but you get your name actually engraved in the blade when you order it. Absolutely phenomenal. And then the other thing is you have a source in Korea for bows, for traditional Korean bows that are made out of fiberglass, so that you can practice the lower poundage bows, and that'll be available also when we go.
Yes, and Korean next year trip 2020. I'm sure we got more countries are already signing up. They have interesting and traditional Korean sword techniques and forms, and also traditional Korean bow as well.
Right.
And we teaching to the even sword or the arrow is a completely high level grandmasters of teaching in Korea. And our swordsman is a teaching. We're buying the sword is a high quality, it's a cheap price. Is the Grandmaster Chongjik Lee is the Guinness Book record for the 24 hay cut, and he dealing with it directly to manufacture. That's why we got a great price for his price. We're getting it. That's why it's so cheap and high quality sword.
Yeah. So this sword is sharp, and I paid the same amount for this. I also practice Iaido, which is a Japanese martial art. So I have a doll in Iaido, a doll Japanese sword that was custom made for me. That costs as much as this cost, and it's not even sharp. So I mean, the price is amazing, absolutely amazing on how little these cost relative to what they could cost. So,
but I'm not member of some of the regular people go order. They're almost prices, half or double paid it.
Right.
But we bought it from our members. He's the directly. They give it to the special price, and also Mr. Grandmaster Lee give it to same price, give it to us. That's reason
Right.
we have a great quality with a very low cost for everybody. Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I know I have probably double the number of students going this year as I had last year,
Wow.
at least. And I keep hearing people that want to go more and more now. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. And well, thank you, sir, for spending some time with us on this July 1st.
We are a couple of days. Today is the Canadian Day.
Yes.
And 3 more days is the USA Independent Day.
Yes, 4th of July. So happy 4th, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good day, sir. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so what's going on in GHA USA? Well, we have 3 items that are in the news right now for us. The first one I already talked a little bit about, which is the annual Board of Directors meeting for GHA USA, which will be happening this month when Grandmaster Lee visits. I also, in the month of August, Master Gutzwiller, Debbie Gutzwiller, will be coming to Vegas. We'll be having a meeting for the Great Lakes region and talking about the states that she has and her hosting of a regional seminar and tournament and all that stuff. So she'll be coming here in the end of August, actually right after I get back from videotaping the material for the modules. So she'll be coming here to Vegas and spending 3 or 4 days, and we'll be going over our plans for the US and for the region. I actually just spent some time with Mr. Dillon last month. He is the regional vice chairman for the Northeastern region for GHA. So it's my goal to spend time every year, obviously, with our vice chairman and obviously attend their annual seminars that they'll be hosting somewhere within their regions. And this is just a way for us to continue on with that. The last bit of information is we do have a few people that will be appointed to positions within GHA USA. Grandmaster Lee, I believe, is going to be giving those certificates out at the Cancun retreat. So we have a few new people that will be appearing on our webpage in positions as vice chairman, state presidents, and as board of director members as well. So stay tuned, look at the GHAUSA.com's webpage, which, by the way, just changed again. We've been having some difficulties deciding on a format for that. And same thing with Inside Hapkido. That has changed a few times since the last episode of vNews. But as I said, feel free to watch our progress. The GHA USA page is looking great on PCs, but unfortunately on iPhones or on cell phones, it doesn't look all that great right now. So we might have to change that around a little bit as well. So that's it for GHA USA News. All right, so the GHA Book of the Month. It was somewhat of a challenge for me this month to pick a book. I have a pretty extensive library, and no, that's not it behind me. I actually have a library that pretty much covers one entire wall that goes from floor to ceiling, maybe 10 feet long, something like that. Back when books were popular for martial arts, now it's very difficult to find martial art books. But I was thinking about it, and someone asked me last month after the vNews to recommend another book, and I recommended Miyamoto Musashi's A Book of Five Rings, and I thought about recommending that for this month for vNews, but instead I was in a Barnes & Noble and stumbled across this, which is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And what's nice about this is I got this on the bargain rack for, I don't know, like $4. It's hardcover. It's in color inside. Yeah, there's no way they printed it for less than that. So obviously they're losing money on this thing. But regardless, you can pick up copies of The Art of War pretty much anywhere. Sun Tzu was a very famous general and you've heard his quotes everywhere and probably don't even realize some of them come from him. He is triumphant who knows when to fight and when not to fight. So the man was an absolute military genius, and a lot of business schools and universities require this for reading now, because you can take, even though what his writing is specifically for fighting in war, you can take that into negotiations or into meetings, and instead of your enemy having a sword, your enemy has a pen, and you can use his philosophy on combat in those situations. It's absolutely phenomenal book. Now, what I would recommend is this: do not read the commentary until a lot of these books have the Art of War, but then they have tons of commentary as well. So don't read the commentary. Instead, read the Art of War, and then if you want to, go back and then read the commentary afterwards. So this is the GHA Book of the Month, which is The Art of War by Sun Tzu for July 2019. Okay, and last but not least, the echo of voices. So last month's hint was lineage. This month's hint is history. And as I said, this will be answered in next month's vNews, one way or the other, because it is what Grandmaster Lee and I are going to do when he visits this month. So hope that provides a little bit of insight. See everyone next month on vNews.